Alright, I think this is going to be one of the coolest drone videos we've seen in a while. This is a 15-acre tract at Panther Hollow. It's tract 9. As we were out here, we kept finding more and more cool stuff. We're looking at the north end of the property. We're facing west. There we go. So there's the property, 15 acres. Has a large open meadow on the north, fairly level. You get to the timber. As you move south, it slopes down. There's another meadow toward the south end. On the north side of that meadow is a creek. On the south side of that meadow is a power line. I mean, you've kind of got it all here. Those trees to the left on the south side of the field, we found a bunch of big walnuts in addition to all kinds of other mature hardwood trees. We're looking northerly now. You can see the road kind of off in the distance. That's the easement road. Where the truck is parked is where the easement road actually is mapped out. You can see it kind of curves down as it goes toward the farmhouse to the east. Oh, and there's a topo map. So highest on the north, the northwest actually, the dotted line is the old road. The yellow line is the mapped out road. Goes south, you can see the creek bed slopes down. We did find a cool little waterfall on this property. It's right where the number sign was on that. So now we're looking easterly. This Panther Hollow was originally about a 750-acre ranch, basically, used for hunting and for cattle, and the original farmhouse is to the east of this property. So now we're drifting southerly as we look to the north. You can see the big timber. On the lower left corner of the screen is where we found the very cool little waterfall right on the property. We heard the water and went and checked it out and found well, you can see the video of it, and it flows down into the creek bed. There's the creek bed, and that's the meadow toward the south side of the property. I mean, this thing is good to go for so many different uses. Hunting, of course, is phenomenal. You got that creek bed, you've got the timber and the meadows. If you do want to have your RV or do a cabin or even a home, you've got a residential power line crossing right over it. Pretty tough to find a private, secluded property that already has power. So that's a big bonus. There is some beautiful timber. There's actually some timber value on this property. We found walnut trees, found large walnut trees, red oak, white oak, all kinds of good stuff. Once the property's been paid for in full, you're welcome to log it or to cut the trees for either a log cabin or for firewood or whatnot. Of course, that's after it's been paid for in full because there is timber value here. So we're looking northerly, and now we're starting to fly back to the north. We're over about the south end of the property. And I really hope we at least get down and try to get a little look at that creek bed. Getting closer, getting closer. So that little creek flows southeast for a couple miles and then empties into Bryant Creek. This obviously, I'm sure you noticed, is a wintertime video, so no leaves on the trees other than you can see the cedar trees. I guess those aren't leaves. So there actually is water in the creek. There is flowing water in that creek. You can see it's a fairly wide gravel-based creek bed. The guys have found arrowheads and spearheads out here. And that's about the most exciting thing you can I wasn't sure how to word that without sounding like an old guy or something, but it's really cool to find an arrowhead. It's awesome. There you can see the creek. The creek is very clear. It's spring fed. So like that little waterfall that we saw that feeds down into the creek, those are the type of things that feed this creek, which then feeds into Bryant Creek. And Bryant Creek is very clear as well. So we have no idea if the creek is year-round. It's best to assume it's not. Same with the little waterfall in the spring. Best to assume it's not year-round. That open meadow on the south is gorgeous. Even though there is timber value out here, we have not seen any signs of recent logging, which is great. The wintertime drone video is probably the best way to tell if a property's been logged or not. If this had any kind of recent logging within the last several years, we would see tops and limbs and different stuff like that, and we're just not seeing it. All we're seeing is big, tall timber. So looking down on the creek bed, looking back up. Oh, I guess I was hoping we'd really get in and look at some of this timber, because the timber is impressive. You've got that gorgeous meadow on the north end. There are setbacks, of course, from the easement roads at Panther Hollow for future utility easement and also for a privacy setback. But that meadow extends well beyond the setback period, or setback distance. So I mean, you could pull in with your truck and your camper, pull into that meadow and be beyond the setback and set up shop immediately. When you go to build your home or your cabin, you got the meadow as an option. You could easily go into that timber if you wanted more privacy or wanted trees around your house. You could do that. You've already got the power on site. You've got the little creek bed, which is super cool. I mean, this is just awesome property. We were so excited about this one. The size, 15 acres is great. Big enough for hunting. You could use that, or you could use the meadow at the top as a food plot, but you could also use that meadow toward the south side as a food plot. Maybe plant some clover. This area is extremely well known for big white-tailed deer and also for turkey, for wild turkey. So as we drift easterly, now you're looking at the original farmhouse. So that's not on the 15 acres. But it's nice that it's there, because that's probably why this track happens to have power. Probably why this track more than likely has a phone line, because there is phone at the house. We're in southern Wright County. We're about 45 miles east of Springfield, Missouri on this property. Now we're looking westerly over the north side of the property. And again, where that road curves, that's the old road. Where the truck is parked is where the mapped and surveyed road is laid out. Looking down at the creek bed, the meadow at the bottom. Gorgeous property. I mean, we've really never had one quite like this. Check out the listing page. Let us know if you have any questions at all. We're close to the Cedar Gap Conservation Area. We are close to Bryant Creek. Cedar Gap Conservation Area is generally open to the public for hiking, I believe for hunting. And it's the headwaters of Bryant Creek, actually. So again, if you look at the map right, listing on the listing page, the guys are out here probably right now as we're doing this video. They're out here, they're working on the roads, and where that truck is parked is where the road is actually laid out, mapped out. Whoop, there we go. Check out the website, gorgeous tract. If you have any questions, please let us know.